As a young citizen of India, armed with technology, knowledge, and love for my nation, with a vision of transforming India into a developed nation, I'm joining Shobhit University. What about you?
Very good morning to all the participants from India and abroad. Shobhit Institute of Engineering and Technology Meerut, deemed to be university, and its centers of excellence, Center for Informatics Development Solutions and Applications, and Center for Industry 4.0 Technology Studies and Applications, in association with African Asian Rural Development Organization, Ordo, New Delhi, organized this weekly international webinar series on open source digital technologies towards self-reliant India, Atmanirbhar Bharat. Today is 17th July 2021. On behalf of the Honorable Chancellor, His Excellency the Secretary General Ordo, Honorable Vice Chancellor, the faculty members of the university, and on my behalf, and as the Professor Emeritus and Chairman of Centers of Excellence, Center for Agricultural Informatics and E-Governance Research Studies, Center for Agribusiness and Disaster Management Studies, Center for Informatics Development Solutions and Applications, and Center for Industry 4.0 Technology Studies and Applications. Welcome our guest speaker of today's webinar, Mr. Johny Samuel. Good morning, Mr. Samuel. He is an young entrepreneur and a founder of CEO Rezzlon, a P2B startup, founder and CEO of Tesseract Lights, Chennai and Tamilnadu. Today's topic is a very important topic titled Mass Serialization and Anti-Counterfeiting Solutions to Fight Illicit Trade. Let me repeat. Mass serialization and anti-counterfeiting solutions to fight illicit trade. India loses about Indian rupee INR 1 trillion, which is equivalent to, at today's prevailing rate, US dollar 14.1 billion every year in counterfeit market. I wish to inform the participants that so far, this international webinar series and by the two centers of excellence, Center for Informatics Development Solutions and Application and Center for Industry 4.0 Technology Studies and Applications, have organized 35 lectures so far, namely Open Technologies to Provision Simple and Economical IT Infrastructure, a roadmap for students using free and open source software and reaching goals of Atmanirbhar Bharat. Open source software in industrial IoT for SMEs. Free and open source software adoption and associated business model. Open data platform for smart digital government. Technology imperatives. Make in India for self-reliance, edge artificial intelligence, data governance for self-reliant India, digital India transforming governance and society, India's email service, citizen@indiamail.com in 22 constitutionally recognized language, ecosystem architecture for digital transformation, education system cyber critical infrastructure, seizing opportunities in open innovation and value creation network in the digital world for self-reliant economy, ensuring food safety and compliance through technology, digital India, urgent need for semiconductor manufacturing in India, technology investment in agriculture value chain, role of foreign direct investments, entrepreneurship and skill development, artificial intelligence design pathways, the rise of platform economy, revisiting value chain pathways, value chain governance. The era of automation, industrial robotics, and Industry 4.0, Indo-German perspective of technology transfer, skill gap analysis, and opportunities. Role of artificial intelligence in healthcare, current developments in diagnosis and vaccine research, digital agri-tech and agri-startup perspective, health informatics network value chain, e-health systems, and beyond. Leveraging emerging technology for ensuring transparent and traceable agri and food supply chains. Unleash the power of citizen development for enterprises after development. E-governance models towards sustained quality service to citizens backed up by technology. Indian MSMEs to adopt Industry 4.0 technology capabilities. Urgent need for mentorship and accelerator program. Building public digital platform using microservices and APIs. Health informatics network value chain, early childhood development and learning. Health informatics network value chain, clinical AI, interface between machine learning and health informatics. Health informatics network value chain, importance of social medicine and community health in the times of health emergency. Gravity filter, G-filter, a simple low-cost solutions to the drinking water treatment in rural India. Open source GovTech startups, empowering growth with automation. Digital transformation in small enterprises with small businesses of India and small businesses of India, challenges and opportunities. Digital transformation in small enterprises and small businesses of India, challenges and opportunities. National Digital Twin Program, need for a robust geospatial infrastructure. Industry 4.0 in MSMEs, benefits of indigenously developed Collab CAD, 3D CAD and PLM software from NIC, National Informatics Center. Today is the 36th edition, very important webinar series. We'll have the talk by our guest speaker, Mr. Johny Samuel, an young entrepreneur and founder of CEO Rezzlon and founder of CEO Chennai, on the topic mass serialization and anti-counterfeiting solutions to fight illicit trade. To recall, in the webinar series, the university has hosted about 8 talks related to digital transformation MSMEs, where this type of algorithms solutions can be operationalized. MSME is an important sector which has got about something like 63 million units in India. Means 6.3 crores units in India. On September 12, 2020, a talk on open technologies to provision simple and economical IT infrastructure. 26th September 2020, open source software and industrial IoTs for MSMEs. 17th October, technology imperatives, make in India for self-reliance. 21st November, ecosystem architecture for digital transformation. 5th December, seizing opportunities in open innovations and value creation network in the digital world for reliant economy. And 9th January, the rise of platform economy, revisiting value chain governance. 12th June, open source GovTech startups empowering growth with automation. On 19th June, a talk by digital transformation in small enterprises and small businesses of India, challenges and opportunities. There are a lot of topics being talked about in this webinar series. The list is growing. Atmanirbhar Bharat is the roadmap given by the Honorable Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi, of making India a self-reliant nation, rested on 5 I's: intent, inclusion, investment, infrastructure, and innovation based on 5 pillars. Economy, quantum jump, and not incremental. We need to have a quantum jump economy. Infrastructure, one that represents modern India. Systems, 21st century technology driven. Vibrant demography, source of energy for self-rule in India. Persons like you, Mr. Johny. Demand, whereby the strength of our demand and supply chain should be utilized to full capacity without any leakage. This was announced on 15th May 2020 by the central government. And another clarion call is vocal for local to make it global. A demand-based economy system which is self-producing and self-consuming. Make in India, make for India, and make for global. The reforms announced have been systematic, planned, integrated, interconnected, and futuristic for creating strong enterprises, generating employment, and a robust supply chain. Webinar on productivity-linked incentive schemes for 13 crore sectors, which was held on 5th March 2021. In that webinar, the Honorable Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi, said it that the productivity-linked incentive scheme would make a major impact to the country's MSME ecosystems by creating an anchor units in every sector that will need a new supply base across the entire value chain. The focus of the industry would be on creating best quality goods for the country and for the world. Best quality goods for the country and for the world. He said we have to attract cutting edge technology and making maximum investment and in the sectors related to our core competency. Digital world, the rise of platform economy, and recent trends in digital economy is the application of blockchain technology, data analytics, artificial intelligence, 3D printing, Internet of Things, automation and robotics, and cloud computing. Data platform economy is emerging, and digital ecosystems are essential for digital transformation in the digital world. Industry 4.0 is today. Industry 5.0 is tomorrow. And the key technologies are A, B, C, D, E. A is artificial intelligence, analytics, operation research, B, blockchain, and C, cloud, IoT, 5G, and 5G communications, and D, big data, and E, ecosystem. Digital transformation is building public digital platform using microservices and APIs, according to the definition available in Wikipedia. Now let us come back to today's topic. Today's topic is mass serialization and anti-counterfeiting solutions to fight illicit trade. Fighting illicit trade. And if you see the acronym FIT, it is FIT. So it is fit to fight illicit trade through technologies. And that is the solution today we are going to hear from Mr. Johny Samuael on mass serialization and anti-counterfeiting solutions. The illicit trade endangers the environment, the law, and the sustainable development goals. We need a global response. This was made very clear in July 2019 at the World Economic Forum. Illicit trade endangers the environment, the law, and the sustainable development goals. A dark side to globalization has been the alarming emergence of illicit trade, which stands in direct contrast to United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. Economic leakage from illicit trade create an annual drain on the global economy of $2.2 trillion, nearly 3% of the world economy. If illicit trade were a country, its economy would be larger than Brazil, Italy, and Canada, and as large as Mexico and Indonesia combined. US Department of Homeland Security, on its report on January 24th, 2020, titled Combating Trafficking in Counterfeit and Pirated Goods. They have submitted to the President of the United States. They recommend to create modernized e-commerce enforcement framework. The report recommends creating or a creation of a modernized e-commerce enforcement framework. E-commerce platform represents ideal storefronts for counterfeits and provide powerful platforms for counterfeiters and pirates to enlarge large number of potential consumers. This is, they are quoting from the report from Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development. And this report also talks about governance framework to counter illicit trade, to counter illicit trade. Leveraging transformative technologies and supply chain solutions, leveraging transformative technologies and smart supply chains to fight illicit economies. Illicit trade harms governments, business, and societies. Alarming rise in fake enterprise products are found in a range of industries, from luxury items to intermediary products to consumer goods that have an impact on personal health and safety, such as pharmaceuticals, food and drink, alcohol and tobacco, medical equipment, electronics, or toys. If you see, if I quote from the report, Luna Global, the counterfeited and pirated products, the estimated global illegal trade is in the order of US dollar 750 billion to 1 trillion US dollar. There are so many other categories. Expansion of internet shopping and cybercrime presents a growing threat to companies and the consumer alike. In addition to the economic harms related to the counterfeit and pirated goods, the Global Financial Integrity, in one of their reports, Transnational Crimes on the Developing World, estimated the global businesses of transnational crime was valued at rupees 1.6 trillion to $1.6 trillion to $2.2 trillion annually, resulting in crime, violence, terrorism, instability, corruption, and lost tax revenues worldwide. Transformative technologies are blockchain, artificial intelligence, IoT, command, control, communication, surveillance, and reconnaissance, drones, geospatial intelligence, 3D printing, predictive analytics software, and unique digital IDs are all incredibly useful in fighting illicit trade. Fighting illicit trade with artificial intelligence, in a report written by Gary Bowler, talks about the methods by which spurious, misbranded, and adulterated drugs enter the distribution channel has become increasingly complex. He said various technologies like barcodes, holograms, radio frequency devices are available to protect consumers. But speaking on the benefits of self-reliant India, our honorable, former Union Minister, Dr. Harshvardhan said, as India starts to produce a strong domestic, brands and gradually reduces its dependence on foreign products avenues for profiteering by smugglers, and counterfeits will sooner become limited. And in India, we have a statutory and legal framework governing counterfeiting. The Trademarks Act 1999, the Copyright Act 1957, the Design Act 2000, the Geographical Indications of Goods Registration Protection Act 1999, and Information Technology Intermediary Guidelines Rules 2011. Of course, as a UN body, in its report, and the Hindustan Business Line, quoted in its March 2009, the news report quoted UN body saying that India is a illicit drug trade, use of darknet and cryptos rampant. In the recent age of technological advancement and innovations, counterfeiting has become a global epidemic, having a substantial impact on the world economy. As per the latest survey of Authentication Solutions Providers Association, a self-regulated non-profit organization formulated with the sole objective of combating the fake, counterfeit, and fraudulent goods circulating in the market, it was reported that Indian economy loses around Indian rupee 1.0 trillion amount, 1.0 trillion rupees, equivalent to US dollar 14.1 billion every year to the counterfeit market. Counterfeiting, piracy, smuggling is a growing threat to national security, according to a report by Vicky. Oxford Economics, in its report on combating illicit trade, consumer motivations and stakeholder perspective, June 2018, it talks about the effectiveness of technologies to combat illicit trade is surveillance and identification technology, data analytics technology, track and trace technologies, authentication technology, and process automation technology. And also talks about lack of standards between technologies also proves a challenge. Lack of standards between technologies also proves challenging. This has to be overcome. Tensu Tracking is a world leader in tracking and tracing and use an open, interoperable digital and data-driven system that minimizes the burden on public authorities and maximizes the gain through real-time automated process from manufacturing to distribution to retail. In its 7th edition of Masquerade 2021, it is movement against smuggled and counterfeit trade organized by FICCI on 21st January 2021. Our Honorable the Union Minister, Dr. Harshvardhan, said, vocal for local will be the extremely potent tool in our fight against illicit trade. Global Data Synchronization Network. Global, GS1 India is a standards body registered under Societies Registration Act 1860, with the founder members comprising Ministry of Commerce and Industry, Government of India, CII, FICCI, ASSOCHAM, Federation of Indian Exporters Organization, APIDA, Spices Board, IIP, and BIS. When industries uses GS1 standards, consumers benefit from enhanced product availability, safety and security, and making better purchasing decisions, whether shopping online or offline. With this background, let us now turn to the address by Johny Samuel, a young entrepreneur and founder and CEO Rezzlon, a B2B startup, and founder CEO Tesseract Lights Chennai, Tamilnadu, on the topic mass serialization and anti-counterfeiting solutions to fight illicit trade. As per the synopsis of the guest speaker, Rezzlon services help provide a digital identity to individual products and dynamically prevent counterfeits from entering the market, and delivers anti-counterfeit solutions to the supply chain for brand protection and connecting with consumers by providing every product with a unique and authentic digital identity UID in the form of Rezzlon code, barcode. Their innovative in-house cryptographic mass serialization and anti-counterfeiting engine can generate millions of authentic unique crypto codes in just a few seconds. Dear participants, with this brief introduction from the synopsis of the guest speaker, Let me introduce our guest speaker to the participants of this webinar series. Mr. Johny Samuel is currently pursuing his second year computer engineering at SRM University, Katankulattur, Chennai. He is proficient in near field communication, IoT, SQL, PHP scripting, cloud computing, and Android programming, which inspired him to create software applications of high precision. His research findings on geospatial flood risk mapping and analysis tool was published as a chapter in Springer Nature journal series in Geomechanics and Geoengineering in 2017. On reading his research publication, Dr. David S. Green, Program Manager, Disasters, NASA Applied Science Program, inquired in his mail to him, is there anything needed from satellite efforts such as NASA? Let me know. He was also appreciated for his work by the Vice President of Google, Jacqueline Fuller. Johny was invited as a speaker at the International Conference on Remote Sensing for Disaster Management in 2017 at the young age of 15 at Andhra University, India, to present his research work. He was featured in the national newspapers and media of the country as a child prodigy. The youngest speaker, 15 years at the conference, among professionals and scientists from ISRO, DRDO, and etc., and was honored by the Vice Chancellor of Andhra University as the guest of honor at the valedictory functions of the conference. He was the only school student invited as a speaker at the International Congress of the Operational Research Society of India, hosted by IIT Mumbai, December 16, 2018, at the age of 16, in appreciation of the app developed by Johny, the founder and CEO of Anywhere Software. Mr. Erel Uzail, Israel sponsored him with the software in 2018. At the age of 18, he founded a successful P2B startup that focuses on mass serialization, anti-counterfeiting, inventory, and stock management solutions for companies to ensure better workflow and help fight illicit trade, for which he innovated a novel algorithm that generates millions of secure, traceable, crypto-enabled codes in seconds, which he claimed is better and faster than existing global competitors. He also launched and tailored a smart lights company that is different from the existing competitors. Unlike the other smart touch lights, these come with an inbuilt Wi-Fi extender, and the lights don't just change the colors of the lamp, just activate it, but also change the colors of all the other lamps that are paired with. He completed the product cycle, architected and wrote the algorithms to make this product a reality and solid multiple units in only a month. Johny's vision is to stop illicit trade and making India the world's first country with no counterfeit. Mr. Johny, we are very happy to host your address in the international webinar series on open source digital technology for self-reliant India Atmanirbhar Bharat on the topic mass serialization and anti-counterfeiting solutions to fight illicit trade. Thank you very much for accepting our invitation, and over to you for your insightful talk. Mr.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Professor, for this wonderful introduction and giving an outline of this webinar. I'm extremely happy that you invited me for such an exquisite program. Let me also thank Shobhit University, the Chancellor, the Vice Chancellor, and the management for hosting this international webinar. So now let me take you to the presentation. Please hold on as I share my screen. Yeah. So today's topic of discussion is anti-counterfeiting and mass serialization, and how you can use this technology to fight illicit trade. So illicit trade is basically any trade or any business transaction that's made without any authenticity. So what is counterfeit? Counterfeit basically means fake, something that is not genuine. So counterfeit did not start today. It was something that was existent long, long ago. So I've put two examples out here. The first one is a $6 bill that was counterfeited in 1776 in Philadelphia. And the other one is a Mughal minted coin. So during the Mughal era, local artisans, they were counterfeiting coins. So you might think only currency or counterfeits or luxury items are the only ones that get counterfeited, but no, that's not the case. Everyday items that you use, such as the products that you apply on your face, the shampoo that you use, the toothpaste, everything that you use can be counterfeit. So according to FICCI, they're saying that out of 5 items that you buy from a market, one out of them is a counterfeit. It has potential harmful effects on your body. So where can you find counterfeits? Counterfeits are everywhere in this market. They can harm your finances, health, and this community. So I put two examples here. The first one is fake shampoos and the fake skin lotions. You can see the effect on us as human beings because of all these counterfeits over here. So counterfeit products are inferior in quality. They're sold under another brand's name. So they're not of good quality and they deceive customers by placing familiar brand names. So they cost around 1 lakh crore every year. So let me walk you through a few scenarios, a few situations by which you can understand the consequences of counterfeits. So there were fake medicines, there were fake cancer drugs that were made out of paracetamol. You all know that paracetamol is a drug that's used to treat fever and not cancer, but they were sold for 5,000 pounds a pack. And there were also fake mucormycosis drugs that were seized in Ahmedabad and Surat. They cost around 50 lakhs, but they were counterfeited. So the people who trust and buy these drugs, they think that it's gonna cure the problems, but it won't do that because it has no potency. It has no substances that have the potency in them. So it does not have health issues, and there is no use of medicine. So they lose faith in the drug and eventually the company. So what happens when one drug does not have potency? So they automatically assume that all of the drugs in the company does not have potency and they do not trust them after that. Now let's look at the second scenario. Counterfeit products don't just affect the economy, it also kills people. According to a news article, fake drugs kill almost 250,000 children a year because they're made out of printer ink, paint, arsenic, and sometimes they're even made in a cement mixture. And they have severe health effects, and it can even cause potential death. Now let's look at the third situation. This is a major milk scandal that happened in China in 2008. So melamine adulterated counterfeit milk products were sold in the market. So around 6 infants and around 50,000 most babies were hospitalized due to all of this counterfeit milk. So what is the impact? The impact is not just that it affects the reputation or it affects the company or the revenue. No, it has a long-term reputation loss, and even after 10 years, the parents are not still able to trust the local formulas in China. They're not able to trust and use the products that are available because of something that happened 10 years back. So these are the impacts of all of the situations I just showed you. It has loss of faith towards the drug and eventually the company. And all of the products of the company are considered ineffective, severe health effects or side effects, and it has long-term trust issues, and the reputation in the company is also lost. So why should companies fear counterfeit? It's not just about losing trust or reputation or revenue. No, it has, when you look at it in a bigger picture, we are not talking about just one company. There are millions of companies that are affected due to counterfeiting. So what happens is the economy loss, it affects the state, and in turn it affects the country, and the GDP of the country decreases, and totally there's international disrespect. So let's look at the root of counterfeiting. Historically, back in the days, people used to go to street corners and the vendors and black markets to pick up counterfeit products because they wanted to. It was usually only luxury items that were counterfeited. So that was called willful counterfeit. But in this day and age, after the introduction of e-commerce, all of the e-commerce supply chain with the false marketing, sales, and distribution networks, it is really easy for people to spread fake products, and they can sell anything with giving very little information about the sellers. So I've put a few examples here. A charger that was caught on fire, and there were fake AirPods that were sold. So all of this is happening because now people are not given a choice. People cannot go and choose to buy a counterfeit. Instead, they are forced to buy counterfeits. So when you go online to a storefront and you see all fancy displays of products there, you think that it's original and you buy it. But what happens is it poses a high level of risk to the community, to the environment as well sometimes. So now let's look at what are the impacts of counterfeiting on companies, on big companies. So they steal sales by undercutting prices. So let's say you're selling a product. So you're selling a product and a counterfeiter competes with you by offering customers a copy. Like they make the exact same product with sometimes inferior quality, but they look the same. When people buy it, they would not recognize that it was a counterfeit product. So this they would just buy it and use it, and they're just cheap knockoffs that are sold in e-marketplaces. So what happens is when they sell it for a lower price, companies are forced to reduce the prices to stay competitive. So because of all of this counterfeiting, eyewear firms lose about 15 to 20% of revenue every year. Now, let's look about another perspective. They are forcing brands to spend a lot of money to fight fake products. So let's say a company finds out that there is an illegal manufacturing unit manufacturing the products of their company. They just can't go there and shut down the company, or they cannot do that. They have to go through legal procedures. They have to apply in the in the court and apply for lawsuits, and only after that they can take down the illegal manufacturers. So it also damages the reputation of authentic brands because many customers are unaware that the products in their hands are fake, because they do not know that it is a fake product, because sometimes they look even more authentic than the original one. But what happens in some amount of time? Let's say they buy a fake clothing item. So after 1 or 2 washes, the color fades away, which wouldn't happen if it was an original product. But by the time they realize that it's a counterfeit product, they wouldn't have time. The replacement policy or the return policy would have been over. So they would just blame the authentic company, saying that this company is not good enough, so that they get a return. But instead they write all of these comments on online platforms. So you can see over here, someone has put works as intended, and it's difficult to install, but it's not durable because it cracked. So the company has to send a replacement because to keep up their social image. So companies are also left to deal with fallouts of counterfeits. So let's say a customer looks for a product and they buy a counterfeit, right? So they're rightfully unhappy with it. So they'll go to the main company and ask them for compensation. Even though they buy it from illicit traders, they still have to go to the original company to ask for the compensation, because they do not know where the illegal, the businesses are they're located. So they go for a refund or a new product. So I've put here a news article of a Chinese man who had gone to Apple headquarters, and he dumped around 1,500 iPhones. So Apple responded by sending them almost 1,500 replacement iPhones, even though the ones that he dumped were counterfeits. They were not original. So this is not just about the customers or the company or the revenue. This also affects the business partners, the distributors, the retailers that work with your company. So there was this company that manufactured charger cables out of stainless steel. They claimed that it could not be destroyed even with a chainsaw. But after some time, what happened is, due to counterfeits, the supply chain got flooded with all of the fake charger cables, and investors started backing out, because you can see the graph over there. In almost 1 year, the one-star reviews started flooding. So due to that, the investors lost trust in the company and they started backing down. So this is the market flow of counterfeit products. Because of e-commerce, it's really easy to sell fake products right now, because you can just produce counterfeit products and it goes to the distribution center, and they even put it in third-party marketplaces. So third-party marketplaces are not like Flipkart and Amazon. Third-party marketplaces are custom-made online websites which look fancy enough to trick customers into thinking it's original. So they can buy from that, but sometimes the products don't even get delivered. But sometimes when they do get delivered, they're mostly counterfeits. So let's look at all of the major sectors worldwide that get affected due to counterfeits. So in billion euros, clothing loses around 26 billion euros, pharmaceuticals, and then comes cosmetics, watches, handbags. We can put all of these in four main categories. The first one is FMCG. It's basically fast moving consumer goods. Everything that you buy day to day, from clothes, from stuff that you buy from supermarkets, food, everything comes under FMCG. And then pharmaceuticals, medicines, agriculture, and automobile. So almost 30% of FMCG personal goods that are sold in the market are counterfeit. So I already told you about how, every 1 in 5 item that you buy from a supermarket might be a counterfeit. So it was a survey conducted by the Federation of Indian Chambers of Commerce and Industry. So huge amount of deaths happen due to counterfeits because the materials that are used are cheap and they reduce costs. So FMCG also has clothing. So they steal your buyers and cost you several $1 billion of money because of online counterfeiting mainly. So there was this company called Forio. They removed almost $2.5 million worth of counterfeit in the market using an anti-counterfeiting partner. So also food and beverages come under FMCG. You can see that there's a 2-minute noodles that was counterfeited, whereas the beef flavor of Maggi does not exist in India. And pharmaceuticals does not just pose a threat to the company or the revenue. It has major impact on a human's life. So according to Zahir Khan, the chairman of EIPR, he's saying that India is one of the biggest markets for drug counterfeiting, and that the life-saving drugs that are made are produced in cement mixers. So that's the amount of hygiene that the illicit manufacturing companies have. So just to make the products look authentic, they even mix cement, they make printer ink, and all of the substance that's harmful for a human being, and they might cause mass poisoning. Agriculture. So when you talk about counterfeit, agriculture does not come to mind often. But counterfeiting also has a major role in pesticides and fertilizers, because farmers, they use pesticides and fertilizers to nurture their land and all of the crops. So what happens is all of these counterfeit products have contaminated and hazardous ingredients. So according to FICCI, 30% of all of the total volumes of pesticides were found to be counterfeits. So there's another shocking news which I read. Adulterated and counterfeit fertilizers are leading to farmer suicides. So according to the source, it is a farmer that uses a adulterated product, a counterfeit product such as a fertilizer or an agriculture product. It's a double loss because his crops wilt away, they wither away, because the pesticides often contain harmful substances like the methane and stuff. So because of that, because of the substandard product, they lost a lot of money, and also causes a huge amount of depression. And then comes automobile. Almost 20% of all of the accidents that happen in India are due to counterfeit automobile parts. The auto fake market in India is almost 40,000 crore. So the fakes account for almost 36% of all of the automobile parts: clutches, air oil filters, suspension items, and all of the stuff. So different countries, they have different mechanisms to solve counterfeiting. But why don't Indian companies go for anti-counterfeiting solutions, even though there are a lot of mechanisms to solve counterfeiting? So all of the global competitors that offer solutions for counterfeiting, the anti-counterfeiting solutions, do not cater to the need of Indian companies. They're not cost effective, they're not fast enough. So manufacturers fear that the applying anti-counterfeit codes on their product, or doing anti-counterfeiting on the product, might slow down the manufacturing process, or even the overconfidence that the product cannot be counterfeited. And they might think that it would use complicated and costly machinery, but that's not the case. I'll tell you the solution. So we have a solution to this problem. It is implementing an effective and efficient anti-counterfeiting solution that caters to the need of Indian and foreign companies as well. So what do we do? So we provide anti-counterfeiting solutions in the supply chain. So basically, we give each and every product that goes out of your the warehouse with a digital identity, a digital DNA, so that every person who buys your product will know that it's a fake product if it's a fake, or they'll know that it's an authentic product, which will boost the trust in your company. So when you implement our anti-counterfeiting system in your company, it increases revenue and good reputation in the market. So how do we achieve this? This is called product digitization. So digitization is basically the conversion of all of the analog information a product has, such as the manufacturing date, the manufacturer, the expiry date, all of that into a digital form. Because people don't usually pay attention to details. So let's take an analogy. Every person has an Aadhaar card. So what do you know when you look at someone's Aadhaar card? You know that they are an authentic person, they are an authentic citizen of India, and the parents are so and so, and it has the manufacturing date of this, and it expire, and all of that. But when it comes to a product, you also need something like an Aadhaar card that people can use to identify, if it's original or fake. So that's when our product digitization comes into play. So what we do is we encrypt all of this information, and whenever a person scans the code, the information about the product, the encrypted information, is displayed. So we provide each and every product with a unique and authentic digital identity, which is traceable back to the database. But I'll tell you there are more to this. So how does this comply with industry 4? So right now it is the revolution of the fourth industrial revolution. So it is basically the conversion of all of the factories into smart factories, where they want to digitally transform all of the manufacturing process and production related processes. So how does serialization play an important role? Serialization help companies build an ecosystem where there is a higher product traceability. So what is product traceability? So let's say a manufacturing company sends out a product. So they do not send the product just one by one. They pack it in bigger boxes. So when it reaches the distributor, and then it goes to the retailer, shop owners, and then it reaches the customer. So the manufacturer will have the most amount of control over where the products are. So they can track and see where the products are in the supply chain. So this can be used to optimize process quality, inventory planning, and product diversions and faulty returns, and boost the productivity and also lower the cost of production as well. So how do you implement anti-counterfeiting in your products? So after you register with our company, you enroll the products. You enroll each and every one of your products with Rezzlon. So after you do that, you'll get Rezzlon codes. So these are the digital identity codes that you have to place on each and one of your product. So once you do that, you can even place it in QR code, data matrix, barcode, whatever format that's compatible. So after that, distributors and customers can scan the code and see if it's authentic, and only authentic products will be shipped to your customers. So now I'll talk about aggregation. So primary packages, they'll have GTIN, but right after you register with us, we'll also give you a Rezzlon's QR code or any other format of code which you can paste on the product. So this can be used by the customer to verify. So after all of these primary packages are put together in a secondary package, they are sent out in form of a tertiary package. So tertiary package has like 10 or 15 amount of secondary packages in that. So the tertiary package, so this process is called aggregation. So this process can be used to track and trace all of the products in the manufacturing stage to the consumption stage, which provides deeper insight on the product journey. So let's say you send out a product and it's causing an issue in the market. So let's say you send out a product from Delhi and it reaches Chennai, and there is a customer reporting saying that this product from this batch has a problem. So you want to find out that where the other packages, where the other primary packages or secondary packages are, which were sent along with the same tertiary package, which is sent from the same batch. So you can just go to our reports and select whichever is faulty, and you can track down each and every product, and you can see where it is as well. So this is the workflow diagram. So the factories manufacture the products, and few amount of primary products are packed in a secondary package, and the secondary packages are packed together in a tertiary package. So when the distributor scans, he knows that he knows all of the details about about the product and the company. And what are the benefits for the company? The stock do not get accumulated in the warehouse, because when you do mass serialization, it also comes with first in first out or last in first out technology. So you can just decide to send you can decide when to send your producers outside the warehouse. It can even be based on shelf life expiry date. So you just have to apply the codes on your product to prevent counterfeiting. You can just put it on like this. So to improve the authenticity, you can even put it off as scratch codes. So where your customer can scratch off the codes to know that only after he purchases the product he can scratch it off, and he can scan with his mobile phone and see if it's authentic or fake, and he can return it back if it's not authentic. So this is again whatever I explained. So you buy codes from our online portal, and you print the codes on the clothes or whatever other products, and you can use QR codes, barcodes, or even NFC tags, and they can be checked by the retailers or customers so that only genuine products can be sold in the market. So, what is a fear among manufacturers? So, basically, when you talk about serialization, serialization is sequential because serials are, always like 1, 2, 3, and 4. So, counterfeiters can easily mimic the serialization data if it's I've put an example over here, ASM 20211, and then it's followed by 2, 3, and 4. So, when it's sequential, counterfeiters can easily mimic all of this data, and the sequence can be mimicked and predicted easily. And the engines that make all of the sequential data, they'll have to store it in the database, and they have to retrieve it each and every time a customer scans. So it's very slow, and you don't get the codes at the right time. But how do our mass serialization engine flourish in these areas? So the codes once generated by us, once you download it, even we cannot, even our company Rezzlon cannot recreate the codes, because once it's given to you, it's given to you. We do not know what we've given, but there's only a reference to our database, but we do not have access to any of the codes that you have. So the crypto checksum validation algorithm in the code that we have implemented has this technology where even a small amount of mimicking, so let's say you change this G over here from this crypto serialization code I've put here, the ZLGZN. Even if you change that G and put it into something else, it'll find out that the code has been mimicked, or changed or manipulated. So our engine is able to provide millions of anti-counterfeit codes in just seconds, whereas it takes around 2 to 3 hours for other companies, international players, to give you like these amount of codes, whereas we can give it in around 8 to 9 seconds, or even slower, even faster. I'm sorry. So how much do anti-counterfeiting costs elsewhere outside the country? So in Russia, the government is providing crypto codes to each and every product. So if a company manufactures around 1 million products a day, so the price for anti-counterfeiting will be around 5 lakh. So the cost per month will be around 1.5 crores. This is talking about the Russian government. But let's say other MNC companies, what if they provide it? They charge around 5 rupees for one code. So that's why the Indian companies don't go for anti-counterfeiting. So what do you get when you implement one Rezzlon code, one crypto code in your product? So printing the single code in your product can help you with anti-counterfeiting of all the products, for track and trace, customer visibility. So you'll know where your customers are. So once you distribute all of these products with serialized data, when a customer scans, the company gets a hit. So after the month is over, you can open a Google map, and you'll have information to see where are your customers, where are the hotspots in India where your customers are located more. So once you find that out, you can send out more items to those areas. So it also helps you with inventory and warehouse management, and you can send incorporate FIFO or LIFO, which is first in first out or last in first out. So what do the customers get when scanning the products? They get to find out the product authenticity. They get to see if the product information, such as the batch number, manufacturing date, expiry date, price, ingredients, and all such. So now I'll talk about all of the disadvantages of the existing solutions and what the difficulties are. So they all use less complex codes, which makes manipulation and hacking really easy. And the verification speed is really slow. And they need huge infrastructure to store all of the anti-counterfeiting data that they use. Whereas I mentioned we do not store any of the data in the database, but we do have something like an algorithm which maps us with the database, which is really fast. And it can the other competitors cannot provide anti-counterfeit solutions to a wide spectrum of companies, whereas we can provide anti-counterfeit solutions even to billions of companies around the world. So why are our solutions better? Our code is packed with crypto technology. It's encrypted with cryptography, which makes it highly authentic. So the codes that are printed on products are not stored in databases. So there are no reference for lookups. So they can be operated with minimal database requirements, which makes it highly secure and extremely fast. So the cutting edge technology is able to generate millions of codes in just seconds. So the client company can acquire any number of codes at any time using our online portal. So it wastes your time, and it does not help, it reduces wastage of time, and it stops wastage of money, and it makes counterfeiting impossible. So once the codes are generated by you, it cannot be recreated even by us. So the verification of genuinity can be done in a fraction of second, even when there are billions of products around the world that have, Rezzlon codes. So the cost-effective machinery, and mostly it integrates with the existing machineries that you already have. So what you should do as a company to stop counterfeiting of your products. So let's say you integrate anti-counterfeiting system with your products. So I've shown a label out here. It says scan this product to know your authenticity. So once you do that, it comes with the mass serialization also. So all of your packages from primary level to the tertiary level is serialized. So you have traceability and supply chain visibility in all of your products. So you'll have better transparency in the product flow in the market. So after you've done that, you can educate your customers to check the authenticity, because people might not know that you have implemented a new feature to your product. So you have to educate the customers to let them know to check the authenticity. So this is our engine, and how it works. The generation engine generates the codes, and the company can buy the codes. So it's basically like topping up. It's like recharging. So once you recharge your account with a certain amount of codes, let's say you buy 10 million codes, and you have 10 products. So you can allocate the 10 million codes to the 10 products individually. So after you've allocated, you can download the codes for individual products and print it on the products and send it out. So the products reaches distributors, retailers, and consumers who can scan and authenticize or find the genuinity of the product. So I'll show you a little example, a demo video on how it works. So the first step is adding the products to the catalog and buying the required amount of Rezzlon codes required. So once you've done that, you can select the quantity of codes required and you can buy it. So I've put 10 million. So after the operation is complete, you have to allot the codes to different products or batches. So we're selecting a certain amount, it's the certain name of product and the allotment date, the batch number, and when it is manufactured. So all of these details will be available when a customer scans the code. So after allocating, you can download the anti-counterfeit codes as a CSV file. I'll show you how fast it is. So this is how you download. You can select the allocation code, and then it'll just download. You can just see how it works. Yeah, so this was for 1 million codes. So 1 million codes just got downloaded in less than 9 seconds. And this is how the codes look in an Excel sheet format, which you can feed it to the printer, which will easily serialize all of your products. And when customer scans the products with a smartphone or a desktop, they can find the authenticity in less than a second, less than 1 or 2 seconds. You can see, yeah, it just, it says what the product is and all of the details regarding to it, related to it. Yeah, so these are the examples of the unique codes, and this is what happens when the customer scans the product for the first time. It tells you it's an original product, and it's from this manufacturer, batch number, price, and what is the description. And even sometimes, there might be when you anti-counterfeit medicines, you might have warning messages saying that pregnant ladies cannot take it, or children under 5 years. So all of that warning messages can be included as well. So after the scanning limit is reached, so let's say the second time someone else scans, it tells that the code has already been used before and the genuinity cannot be confirmed. So what happens when you mass serialize your product? You also get EC inventory management. So we provide inventory management as well, which goes along with your ERP as well. So what happens is you don't have to buy costly machinery or anything to implement this. All you'll need is a smartphone and a printer. So you can automate all of the inbound and outbound inventory movements, with very less paperwork. So all of the goods movements in the supply chain or inside the warehouse, from the ingredient state to the product stage, you can easily track it down. And you can use pick strategies such as first in, first out, last in, first out, or shelf life expiry as well. So track and trace and customer visibility is also there. I already told you the customer stays connected with your company, so he has a better experience. He would feel like he's connecting, with the product itself. So once he scans it, the company, you can give customer loyalty programs and give them discounts based on the number of scans they've done. So you can even have reports knowing that where your customers are and how much they buy, and you can even have like reviews or feedbacks that come directly to you and not to other online channels. So blockchain is the talk of the town right now, but why cannot blockchain be used for serialization? Because the enterprise resource planning tools that are available in India or elsewhere do not support blockchain, and there is a high level of privacy leak because you'll have to hire services of third party SaaS. So you'll have to implement a lot of costly and significant data servers, and a lot of third party investment is needed as well. So the blockchain technology is immutable. So the user cannot easily update the records that, let's say you scan a product, and after some time the company wants to change the price or wants to change the description. When it's blockchain, it's difficult to do that because it's immutable. So it has less interoperability, and it's even significantly slower when retrieving and commenting records. So, what happens when our services are incorporated with the government? So, once you incorporate our services with the government, it can control and centralize all of the economic sectors and integrate them into the tax system. So, let's say you go to a hotel and you buy some food. So, do you think all of the bills that they give you are original? No, they're not. Most of the times they evade paying tax and they give you fake bills. So what you can do is, if the government provides, the the crypto codes to each and every bill that a company has to generate, it can totally eradicate all of the, all of fake products and fake bills, and it'll increase the economy of the country, and even the tax evasion can be, gone, and all of the black market goods will cease to exist. So this also benefits the companies because all of the counterfeit products will go from the market. So the demand for the original company obviously increases. So if India implements anti-counterfeiting for all of the bills and the producers, India will be the first country to implement anti-counterfeiting for all of the economic sectors. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Johny Samuel. Yeah, you have done a great service to the nation for its Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan. And without even looking for what government wants it, you as an individual, as an entrepreneur, as a prodigy, you have developed a solution, and the solution is, can be applied for infinity of products of various, of very companies. It is limitless, unlimited, and a strong algorithm, and also a engine to provide crypto code with appropriate checksum. And you've done a complete SWOT analysis, and all challenges you have, understood, and you have taken the opportunities to build up such a strong product which is needed, which is low cost, and low cost technology, low cost adoptions, and so on and so forth. And you also made a very bold statement that how blockchain cannot be helpful and it cannot be a low cost solution. I agree with you. And you also said it that how government's GDP can can go up, and complete tax evasion can be eliminated, can be stopped. And also say that this is the first country to adopt for all the products, because whatever the codes which is available, it has got its own limitation, constraints. And this is what Indian youth can do. Indian institution can facilitate to build up such type of youths in the country. You are an icon, and I'm very happy to host your talk in our international webinar series on open source digital technologies for self-reliant India of Shobhit Institute of Engineering and Technology, Meerut, Deemed to be University. I would like to invite Mr. Venkat Sastry, Director, Career Option, Director, just 1 minute. Let me invite Dr. N. Venkat Sastry, Director, Career Center, SRM Institute of Science and Technology, Kottankulathur, State of Tamil Nadu, to join the webinar online and give his valuable insights on the address of Mr. Johny Samuel. Dr. Venkat Sastry, are you online? Mr. Manish Labra?
No, sir. No, sir.
No. Is Professor Prakash online?
No, sir. No, sir. No, sir.
Okay, fine. So, they will be watching through the Facebook and YouTube. And let me, summarize and also discuss with Mr. Johny Samuel, our guest speaker. Your address, your talk, your solution is it's for a complete value chain. You've done a wonderful SWOT analysis, and you said it that counterfeit products are everywhere in the market. You've given ample examples, both nationally and internationally, and also that the numerical series, this is the problems associated with the existing solutions, its constraints, and how you are able to make it very easy, useful, applicable, and easily maintainable, and how it cannot be manipulated by the various intermediaries, and bring in a lot of confidence to the customers and the producers, and any level of whether it is a primary level or secondary level or tertiary level or at the aggregator level. It is a fantastic solution, Mr. Johny. From our bottom of the heart, we appreciate you for your wonderful innovative solutions. And you also linked with Industry 4.0. In my introductory remark, the reason for taking more time to explain to the participants the relevance of today's talk, and the participants has to understand, and they have to stay with you during the talk, and also that now this talk will be available as the video link in the university website and also as a YouTube, so that anybody who is interested will be in a position to watch this video and understand, and either get back to the university or to you directly to further work with you. Let it be startups or let it be industries, both in India and abroad. But in India, with the call of vocal for local, and 63 million small scale units, MSMEs, are operational in the country. And with the low cost such technology, if they adopt, I think counterfeiting products can be completely eliminated, and the revenue will increase like anything, and the producers and consumers will be at the win-win situation.
Yes, sir.
And this is very important, and this has to be noted, because this is a technology solution to the core, and it cannot be manipulatable, and it's a code which you are given, and it is very easy to download in no time. And I strongly feel that this will facilitate and motivate and galvanize a lot of youths who are watching this program, a lot of startups, a lot of small scale industries, because our interest from the university, from these two centers of excellence, is to undertake to facilitate digital transformation of small-scale industries, MSMEs, khadi and village industries, agricultural sector, and health sector. It's very important because Indian economy is based on rural economy, and the rural economy has to have a strong dose of digital transformation. It has got its own problem for various central schemes because of federated nature of this country, be it Digital India, be it Skill India, be it Make in India, Stand Up India, and Start India, Skill India. For operational level, at village level, it has got its own problem. So in order to promote village industries, your talk is one of the torch bearer. You set up your industries. There is a code, Rezzlon code, and you attach with that, and your product can go throughout the world, and you can be tracked, and your credibility will be established in the global scenario. Your small-scale industry, your village industry can be globalized. We can compete with China without any problem. And that is the message which you have given today in your, address. And
Yes,
even in the agriculture sector, you said it very clearly. More than 30% of the pesticides are.
Sir, Dr. Prakash, sir, is online.
Okay. Hello? Yes. And also discuss with. And I'm very happy that Professor Prakash has joined. And I'm very happy that Professor Prakash has joined. And we are very happy to host Mr. Johny Samuel's address today. It is a very wonderful address, a wonderful product, fantastic solutions. Federation of Indian Exporters Organization, FIO, should look into his address. Ministry of Commerce and Industry should look into his address. Exporters body, export promotion councils, and various other state government bodies and industries like industry bodies like FICCI and CII and ASSOCHAM should look into it. Lot of potentials. And I would like to hear from you, Professor Prakash Vincent. I was told that you have been advising, you have associated, you understand his product very well. I would like to hear from you what you would like to say. Maybe about 2 to 3 minutes, Professor Prakash.
Good morning, Professor Moni and Johny. Can you hear me? Am I audible?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah, it was nice talk, Johny. And as Professor Moni told, I have associated with Johny for more than 3 years, advising him how to develop this thing, the business development, just advising, not the technology aspect. And I could see that, as Professor Moni told, this is a lot of potential, and youngsters like Johny coming out with solution, which is much needed in the fast-moving world and industry for revolution, is he has to be encouraged much. And I know that Johny has already implemented this for one of the industry in Nagarcoil. It's a latex gloves making industry, and they are using his product. And this has to multiply. Maybe we should make a platform for him to develop that to products. And even I talked to, I don't know whether today BRICS chairman associate from South Africa, Sia Nutella, he told he'll be joining. I think sometimes he'll be listening to it. But one is the medicinal products, which is lot of counterfeits. Now we saw a report that even Remdesivir, this was selling for in the black market for 20,000 rupees maybe 2 months back. And they had counterfeit product made of water, distilled water. So you imagine the life-saving or life-threatening the possibility of a counterfeit product. And the product like Rezzlon product can save a lot of lives. Okay, also make a better society. And I see the application in different aspects, even like organic foods. Always foods from India are rejected that like with pesticides and things. I think that people like fake products from organic foods cannot emerge, which putting like Rezzlon quotes or quotes like that. So I see that there's a lot of potential, and from my side, like we'll be trying to promote this product, and maybe in the months coming up, I think that this will be the best solution for the India and also the globe. And thank you for your effort. Keep doing your effort, and I think that you are a successful, as Professor Moni told, icon. Yeah, because very few students we see that they come out with novel solution and they know everything of what they are talking about. Okay, so an expert with 40 years of experience like that is talking, and thank you very much, and I appreciate Professor Moni for giving him a platform to express his views and his product, and I wish that it takes off in a bigger way. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Professor.
Thank you, Professor Prakash, for your very, as a teacher and also a mentor who meant a lot of startups. And you also said it that you have been, interacting with Mr. Johny Samuel for the last 3 years, and he has become a more matured entrepreneur. He has got his own confidence. And I have been watching for the last 45, almost 1 hour, that he talks like even like of course Bill Gates has got a different name now, but he talks like Bill Gates. I have listened to his talk when he came to India, and I was invited 2 times to have a personal meeting with him. And let us see another Bill Gates from India in Mr. Johny Samuel on a positive mode. And it's many of our youths have got this type of kinetic energy, potential energy. This has to be brought out. So my request will be, Mr. Johny Samuel, I'll be very happy that your startup can have can get associated with these 2 centers of excellence: Center for Informatics Development Solutions and Applications and Center for Industry 4.0 Technology Studies and Applications. And also another 2 centers of excellence: Center for Agricultural Informatics E-Governance and Center for Agribusiness and Disaster Management Studies, to promote and also train your algorithms, your product solutions to many of the rural students. And this is more important. So to bring in technology and also skillfully developing rural students, boys and girls, of various rural sectors of economy, to promote this type of knowledge-based value chain. Agriculture sector alone has got 400 agriculture commodities. Dairy value chain. Yesterday I was talking to another startup that apart from the cooperative enabled dairy societies, there are 3 lakhs crore economies in outside cooperative dairy market, unorganized dairy market. We call it within quotes cycle wala milk sales. It is a perishable commodity. 3 lakhs crore economy which gets wasted by 2 o'clock in the afternoon for the milk which is taken in the morning. And it is a big value chain, dairy informatics value chain. I have been promoting health informatics value chain, and human health, plant health, animal health, soil health, water health, and fish health. It is today's situation is that even before that also we have seen COVID situation. Disease came from animal. 85% of the disease which we get come from animal. So, and human health has to be has to be improved a lot through various other health components. We get food from agricultural systems, and we get food from animal, and there are animal and the plant are taking food or nutrients from soil, and the nutrients, minerals of the soil control the metabolism of the cells of human being, plant and animal. And if soil is not healthy, human cannot be healthy, and human cannot be healthy if a plant and animals are not healthy. And he said it very nicely that how pharmaceutical items, how many pharmaceutical items are fake, and even luxury items, your cosmetics, and these are all very dangerous. And as an young entrepreneur today, he has built the cat. And it is up to the government, it is up to the industry, it is up to the educational institutions to take note of it and to train our students, and also make them to make them as industry oriented. This is where the industry 4.0, he also very nicely said it, that mass serialization is a solution, is a crypto mass serialization is how it should be implementable in industry 4.0. The country has about 6.4 crore small scale units, and they have to be globalized. They have to be brought under digital transformation. And we have got 14 crore farmers. 85% of the farmers are small and marginal farmers. They have to be digitally transformed. 7 mission mode project of the doubling farmers' income by 2022, where I was associated with as a chairman of the subgroup. This 7 mission mode project of digital technology in agriculture can bring in digital transformation of 14 crore farmers in the country. Who is going to work for them? There are a lot of export bodies, and they didn't even not in a position to remove the fake products in the country. As I said in my initial remarks, that India loses about something like 14.1 billion US dollars every year in counterfeit markets. Can we afford to do that? So under the Digital India Abhiyan, under the Atmanirbhar Abhiyan, and this is the only university which organizes the international webinar series on open source digital technology for self-reliant India. And I'm very happy that today I'm able to host an young entrepreneur. At this age, he has set up 2 startups, and my invitation to him is to get associated with these 2 centers of excellence to work. And let me also learn a lot from you, because we also at this level we have to learn a lot from the youths, because youth are the face of India, as rightly said by our honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi. And the difference between Modi and Moni is that he is MODI and I am MONI. So we both of us have got the same energy. He crossed 68, I am 68. So thank you very much, and I also thank Professor Vincent for joining, and Mr. Johny Samuel, and his parents for for his contribution to the purpose with a mission. And I'm also very happy to read from his synopsis. He's got his own vision, and it is unnatural from a youngster like here in India, to have a vision to say that India should be completely remove, it should be a counterfeit free country. So India is very strong with the people like you, and India will be very strong forever for having youngsters, youth like you. So with this, I thank all of you on behalf of our Honorable Chancellor and His Excellency Secretary General, African Asian Rural Development Organization, and the faculty members of the university and the chancellor of the and the vice chancellor of the university. We thank both of you for participating in this program. And for any research inquiries, please contact Professor Moni, Professor Emeritus, Chairman, CIDSA and CITSA, and former Director General, National Informatics Center, Government of India, New Delhi. My email ID is moni@shobhituniversity.ac.in, Shobhit Institute of Engineering and Technology, deemed to be University Meerut, and African Asian Rural Development Organization, Delhi. Have a nice day. We close the webinar.